One of the books I've helped produce is Quotations from Saint Therese of Lisieux. Saint Therese is a famous French saint. She lived during the 1800s, best known for her holiness and her simplicity. She's a Carmelite nun, and her autobiography, Story of a Soul, is very popular and masterful. So this book is just a selection of quotations from Saint Therese of Lisieux. It came from an English translation, I think it was in the 1920s, done by an Irish nun who translated it from French into English. However, none of the stuff was organized. So what I did with this book is I took all the quotations and I had to organize them. So I organized them into three parts. Part one is Story of a Soul, that's her autobiography. Part two is her letters. So she wrote a bunch of letters to various people, mostly her relatives, also to her missionary brothers. And then part three is Counsels and Reminiscences, which is sometimes included as like part two of Story of a Soul. But those weren't written by her. Those were written by nuns who knew her, and they quoted her. But for the sake of quotations, that's sort of different, where it's different if you have a quotation which is directly from St. Therese's book, and if you have a quotation from somebody who knew her and says she said this. So, and you can kind of tell when you go through the quotations. Some people quoted her word for word. They could remember exactly what she said. Other people just sort of gave a summary of what she said. So what I did was I took all these quotations, I modernized the language to get rid of all the these and thous, and I organized them in a way as best I could. I also had a particular challenge of trying to get them to fit on the various pages, because I didn't want to have a quotation, let's see, look at this. This is kind of a large quotation, right? Well, I didn't want it to run like all the way across from one page to the next. So I had to basically space out the various quotations to make sure that none was running from one page to the next. If they do run from one page to the next, it's going to be in between two pages like this that are facing each other. So that was sort of a problem which I had to run into, just trying to, not just have the quotations be haphazard, also tried to organize them by theme. And like I said, I organized them in chronological order. So with the ones from Story of a Soul, we have all the chapter 1 quotations, then all the chapter 2 quotations, and all the chapter 3 quotations. So that is Quotations from Saint Therese of Lisieux. It's a collection of a bunch of quotations from her works and quotations from people that knew her. And like I said, the language is modernized, so it's perfectly understandable in modern English. It's not 1920s English, which was translated from French. And that's all I have to say. So if you're interested, feel free to buy it. I'll have a link in the description and also in the end screens. Bye, everybody.